again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today I'm going to continue pounding through the Motorhead catalog. I've got, I think after this one today, this is going to be Kiss of Death. I think after today I've got one, two, it looks like 4 or 5. I think 5 more Motorhead to go. And then hopefully I'm going to do something a little bit special, a little bit different related to Motorhead. This might take a couple of months. But anyway, I'm going to talk about Kiss of Death, Motorhead today. And I'm going to start by saying, I was in Turkey the other day, or last week, whenever it was by the time you see this, as you may or may not know. And I was in Istanbul. And I bought a lot of snacks. I bought a lot of Cheetos and Doritos and, candy and things like that, and Lay's and Ruffles. I bought KFC Ruffles and Pizza Hut flavored Lay's and peanut flavored Cheetos and pizza flavored Cheetos. And I bought some Doritos, all right? And I'm going somewhere with this. I bought taco flavored Doritos. Yes, in Turkey I bought taco flavored Doritos. I also bought sweet chili flavored Doritos. A Turkish flavor. It's like a general Turkish spice flavor. I bought all those Doritos. And so I've been eating. I've been, kind of like I'm going through this Motorhead catalog. I'm going through my stockpile of snacks. And especially the Doritos, and particularly the taco flavor, the sweet chili flavor, and the Turkish flavor. They're all good. I enjoy them all. But one doesn't really stand out from the other. They all have that same kind of generic spicy flavor, not hot and spicy, not where you're crying for your mother, not something like that, but just that spice flavor, like herbs and spices, something like that. And they're all good and you enjoy them, but you can't really differentiate one from the other. And there's not one flavor that stands out. That's Motorhead. That's this Kiss of Death album. I think in this era of Motorhead, maybe from Hammered, maybe up until the last album, Bad Magic. Every album was kind of like that. Not bad. You listen and you say, oh, okay, this is okay. It's Motorhead. I like it, but nothing really stands out. And more specifically to this album, I can't say there's a song on this album that I go, this song sucks. But it's kind of like eating the chips, eating the Doritos. You go, okay, I like it, but I'm not full. It's not like having a good meal. So yes, I'm drawing some kind of a parallel or making a comparison between Motorhead and salty snacks like Doritos. So, and I've got it here, and and it's kind of the same thing as I did Aftershock recently. What else have I done from that era? We Are Motorhead. No, We Are Motorhead was okay. That was before. What else have I done recently from that era? I can't remember, but in that late from 2006 to around, as I said, Bad Magic. I'm rambling already. So here it is, Kiss of Death. This came out in 2006. I remember this came out around the time I moved to Mexico, either just shortly before or shortly after. That I have memories of that. I think this was the first Motorhead album that I didn't buy forever. After I got the first Motorhead record I ever got was Another Perfect Day, and then I got No Remorse and Orgasmatron and Rock and Roll and 1916 and everything, even the birthday party I had. And then I think the last one I got was Inferno, which was 2004, and then I stopped. That's why I've been going through some of that era of Motorhead recently with these records. And because I think even for me by Inferno and Hammered, and even a little bit from We Are Motorhead, it just kind of started being the same. And I know I talked about this before, and I'm repeating myself. Inferno, that's one that I talked about earlier. So yeah, not too much to say about this, and I kind of feel bad talking. I'm not talking bad about Motorhead, but I kind of feel a little bit guilty that I'm such a big Motorhead fan. They have some albums that I'm just not really that familiar with. I recently got my second Motorhead tattoo, and maybe a little bit of a Motorhead poser. There it is, Kiss of Death. Here's the hype sticker. It says Motorhead Kiss of Death exclusive silver vinyl. Includes the tracks God Was Never on Your Side, Be My Baby, and Sucker. That's all it says. So, and I did listen to it, as I always do, and I had to take notes to familiarize myself with it. And I don't have too much to say, so maybe thankfully for some of you, you can get through this quicker. I can open this up now, I guess, and see what the silver vinyl looks like. This one has one of these easy open ones. I really like this. I don't need a knife. Don't need to endanger myself or put myself at any kind of risk when I open records that have this kind of flap. There's got to be a name for that. All right. It feels gritty or something. It feels like it's dusty. And there's the back. Okay, good sleeve. I think Inferno and Aftershock with Sim. It's got the lyrics. It's got a nice photo of these guys. God, you need a magnifying glass to read this. Very, very small. At least it's white print on black background, which is much easier to read. And let me see what the silver vinyl looks like. It's good thick paper. All right, there it is. Same label on both sides. And it is silver vinyl. All right, so I can put this down now. And the first track is Sucker. And as you might expect, especially in this era of Motorhead, they were really, really, doing everything by the numbers. Everything, it was very, very formulaic. Overkill, the band Overkill does the same thing. I would even say, who else is like that? Kind of, every 2 years they have an album out. And a lot of people really, really like that. But I guess it's kind of easy when you're kind of doing the same thing again and again. And again, it's the same with Overkill. It's not bad, but just nothing really stands out. So the first song is Sucker. And this is it's your typical fast opener. Motorhead always had a fast song to open, even going back to, the early records with Overkill, yeah, I guess. Bomber, no, Dead Man Tell No Tales is not fast. Ace of Spades is fast. But yeah, Sucker is a very, very fast up-tempo metal Motorhead, which I've talked about. I don't really like that era of Motorhead. This one reminded me of, on Aftershock, there's a song called Queen of the Damned. Now I know Aftershock came out like 5 years after this record, but I knew Queen of the Damned before I knew this one. But so when I listened to this, I thought, it sounds like Queen of the Damned, when I should have been saying Queen of the Damned sounds like Sucker, which I didn't know at the time. And it's okay. Next is One Night Stand. Now, again, not too much to say about this. It's just kind of bouncy. It's not a fast Motorhead song, but it is. Motorhead has kind of these fast songs, the bouncy songs, the bluesy songs, and something like that. And this album has each one of everything, at least one of everything. Next is Devil I Know. How many bands have an album called? How many bands have songs or albums called The Devil I Know? Anthrax has the Devil You Know. Black Sabbath, or I think it was called Hell and Heaven, Heaven and Hell at that point, has I think their album was called The Devil I Know. And again, this is just a typical Motorhead song, typical of that era. Nothing really stands out to me here. Next, I'm already at number 4, Trigger, another fast one. This, I think, could have been the opener. If this had been the first song, I think it would have fit right in. They could have reversed this in Sucker, and you never would have known a difference. Next is Under the Gun. This is kind of the bluesy kind of Motorhead. That sounded like Roadhouse Blues. But it's a bluesy Motorhead song, but heavier than some of their other ones. Maybe like You Better Swim, something like that, but I think a little bit faster, heavier. And in this one, Lemmy sings about something, I can't remember the exact lyric, but something about the horizontal dance. I've talked about how Lemmy really recycles his lyrics, which I actually like that. I feel like they're callbacks, references to past songs. And this one he says, he mentions something about the horizontal dance, which is also mentioned in Claw from Orgasmatron, which I've established is my favorite Motorhead record. We begin the horizontal dance, and he begins to see the power of the claw, something like that. Next is God Was Never on Your Side. This one's acoustic, and I think at this point Motorhead seemed to have one of these songs. I could be wrong, but I feel like Motorhead had one of these kind of acoustic songs on every album, starting with, I'm not even sure when. But, and yeah, it is a little bit different. It's not like the fast Motorhead song, but again, it's okay. Nothing great. Next is Living in the Past. This one is kind of a mid-tempo, kind of a stompy. It didn't have the fast pace. It's not like a slower song, but it's kind of a stompy Motorhead song. Christine. Now this is the only one that I'm really familiar with. And I like this one. This is probably there is a bonus track on this record. I don't think, it's not on my version. No, I think maybe it's on the CD, or maybe it was on a German version or Japanese, probably German, which I will get to. But other than that bonus track, Christine is definitely my favorite in this one. I think it's catchy. It's, and another callback, she sure loves playing with the ace of spades. Christine, good song. Unfortunately for me, it's the only song that I actually enjoy. Christine is good. The other ones, again, they're not bad, but they're just kind of a lot of the same stuff. Next is Sword of Glory, talking about going back to past callbacks to previous lyrics and song titles. Sword of Glory, I guess, is a mix of I Am the Sword from Bastards and Tales of Glory from Another Perfect Day. Not the last song, second last song, I can't remember. Die You Bastard is the last song. And it's kind of a fast, not like the fast openers, but an up-tempo song. And again, it's okay. Next is Be My Baby. This one it's kind of a riff. This one was a little bit riffy and reminded me of a faster version of Liar. There's a great song on Bastards called Liar. And this one kind of, for me, had that same feel, but just a little bit faster than Liar. Next is Kingdom of the Worm. This one, again, every song had something like this at this point. The growly vocals, I can't do it, but Lemmy had those growly vocals like Orgasmatron, and I don't know what else. I'm not saying it sounds like Orgasmatron, but he does have that kind of angry, growly vocals. I think on every Motorhead album, there was, starting with whatever album had a song like that. Going Down, I guess, is the last track on the official version, the normal version. And again, another callback. I had to write this. Dr. Rock is going to shoot you full of rock and roll. Dr. Rock, another great song from Orgasmatron. And we got All the Aces. There's a song called All the Aces on Bomber. And also You Can't Mess with Dr. Rock. Again, another Dr. Rock reference. This one's fast, not quite like an opener. It doesn't have the same vibe as an opener, but it is quite fast. And the last track, if it's not on this version, but again, if it's a German import or a bonus track somewhere, it's not Ramones, it's R-A-M-O-N-E-S, or I guess for you, R-A-M-O-N-E-S, 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 I blew it. Ramones, which was a song on 1916, which I really like 1916. And they re-recorded it. I'm not sure why of all the songs to re-record, I'm not sure why they did this one. I've never heard them talk about it. Maybe, some bands, they record a song, they, maybe didn't like the way it came out, didn't have time to fix it, or didn't have time to do it the way they wanted to. Maybe that's the case with R-A-M-O-N-E-S, R-A-M-O-N-E-S, R-A-M-O-N-E-S Ramones. But they did it. This version is way better. And I like the original version, but this one I think it's just faster. It's more intense. It's more energetic. It's just better than the 1916 version, which is funny because Phil Taylor plays drums on 1916, and Mickey D plays drums on this record. I think Mickey D, I've talked about this before, I think Mickey D is at least largely responsible for Motorhead having that metal sound, and Filthy gave them more of the real Motorhead sound. But I do like this version of R-A-M-O-N-E-S, R-A-M-O-N-E-S, R-A-M-O-N-E-S. I can't get that third one right. I feel like I blew it every time. I do like this one much, much more. I love it. And I'm the one song that I'm trying to remember the lyrics. New York City, NYC, pretty mean when it wants to be. Black leather, knee-hole pants. Can't play no high school dance. So here's R.A.M. Hear 'em on the radio. Bad boy rock, bad boy roll. Gabba gabba, see them go. CJ, hit the gas. Hear Marky, kick some ass. Go Johnny, go AO. I don't know, something like that. That's a great, great song. That is for sure my favorite on this record, if you don't count Christine, because this is a bonus track. For whatever that's worth. Ramones, R-A-M-O-N-E-S, 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 Ramones is the best song on this album for sure. So that's it. Kiss of Death. There it is. And as I said, 5 more Motorhead to get through, and then I'll be finished. And then I think I will do a special version of a special edition of Motorhead. Maybe you can figure out what I'm going to do. So there it is. A pretty uneventful album for me. This is Motorhead, Kiss of Death. That was really bad.